Welcome to Regulate This, an RIALE unfiltered podcast.
We've acknowledged at this point, I don't know what I don't know until I find out I don't know it, and that often comes at a painful expense. How do I avoid that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you are working in a regulated business. So whether you're SEC registered or state registered, the expectation is you are licensed as an investment advisor representative of your firm. You took a series of exams, whether it's the 7 and 66, the 65, or you have like a CFP, CFA, or one of the other 4 designations that qualify for IAR registration. The expectation is you work in this industry, you get the benefit of making an income and revenue off of managing other people's assets. Ignorance is not an excuse. You need to learn and understand the rules, especially now where more and more states every year are also imposing IAR CE requirements or continuing education requirements. So not only do you have that initial testing you're required to do for many of the states you're conducting business in, and I expect at one point in the next few years, we'll get to a 50-state position where all states will require ongoing continuing education for IARs. You've got ongoing education requirements too. So from a regulator's perspective, there is no excuse not to know. But my God, Tracie, every day we're talking to people, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And it's because they are stuck with these consultants, right? So I think there was a recent Schwab study conducted in 2025 that says that 83% of RIAs are outsourcing compliance in some form, shape, or fashion. Praise Jesus, hallelujah, thank God, thank you. I'm so glad you guys are looking for an outsourced solution. They're not all created the same. For most of you that are looking for an economical solution, it's a very reactive solution, which means that they're really relying on you to come to them about what you need. Well, if you don't know what you need and you're using a business provider that's waiting for you to come to them, it's a mess. And it's a bomb waiting to explode, right? It's not the best or ideal solution. And the whole I'll fix it later thing is completely dangerous. To your point earlier, Tracie, day one, the expectation is that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're not doing it right for 5, 10, 15 years, that's a whole lot of data that is now messed up, not categorized, not archived. It is a pain in the ass to try to go back and clean that data up, right? Garbage in, garbage out. If you're not looking at how you're classifying data, if you're not archiving, if you're not supervising, any analysis you try to do is going to be complete garbage, right? And the longer you let it on, the harder it is going to be to fix. So, and I'm giving you a really long answer, Tracie. I'm going to go back to your question. What do they do, right? We're going to talk, I promise we're going to talk about all the problems, but also talk about the solutions. And what advisors and firm owners need to realize is that compliance is part of your business infrastructure. It's not a formality. It's not, to your point, Tracie, a check the box. I have a manual. Even though the manual is garbage, it doesn't reflect my business practices, I have a manual, tick. No, this is an integral part of your business infrastructure. When we talk about compliance as the umbrella under which everything functions, operations, sales, marketing, financials, they all have to be consistent with state and federal regulation. That's where that compliance umbrella comes in. The solution, Compliance University. That's the solution.
I agree. I think so many people are trying to figure it out, and oftentimes when we get calls, I know at least calls I've taken, I have real empathy for the people that are calling in because, they found a solution that was affordable or cheap or usually or what they call priced right, but they're getting what they paid for. And most of it is just pushed back to them. They get these templates from this outdated library that then they have to go in and figure out. I actually had somebody call the other day and he had said that, he thought he was good. So he thought he had a golden parachute. And when he jumped out of the airplane, it turned out he had a Kleenex, and the wind was fierce and he was hitting the ground fast. But he had said, I had this consultant, I hired them. They had this full, extensive library they told me about. Anytime I asked them questions that were really more in depth or needed to kind of work through, which I call parsing the regulations, but needed to kind of understand what the regulation was and what he needed to do, they would tell him to speak to a compliance attorney or a securities attorney. And then he filled in the blanks. He mad libbed his manual with the document that they gave him that was 42 pages long. And so he filled in those blanks the best that he could because nobody looks over it either. They gave him the template. That's what he was paying for. And when the auditor came in, that's what he got dinged for, because a lot of it wasn't even applicable to his business, but he wasn't sure what he could take out or what he could keep in. And then stuff that he did take out, he actually needed. What he kept, he didn't. Some of the questions he answered, assuming what they meant, and his assumptions were categorically wrong. And so the words that he filled in made no sense. And so they basically said, you don't have a manual and you aren't doing most of the stuff that you said you were going to do. So it became a real problem. And so what we talked about was exactly what you mentioned, is Compliance University. Compliance University is something that we have. It's a learning management system. It's DIY, so you can do it at your own time frame. Some people like to go faster, some people like to go slower, some people like to take it in and then revisit it again to kind of let it sink in. So hear it, learn it, see it. And really, it allows people to go in and build from the foundation on compliance, um, a whole compliance resource, almost like a compliance department for yourself. You're going to learn things from the basics, like how do I do an inventory? What do I have? What don't I have? What do I need to get? You're going to learn how to update and format your ADV, because there is some nuance to that. You're going to build a compliance manual and a cyber policy and so many other things that are out there. But the whole goal is that by the end of that 12-month period, because it's a running 12 months, you're able to have your annual review completed. Everything you've done month over month builds on each other. So at the very end, you actually are successful with the compliance regulation, right? With the rule that by the end of the year, you have to have an annual review. And so it actually sets you up to be able to do that and gets you so that compliance. You not only get the tutorials, the PowerPoints, the videos, you're able to get homework that is applicable to your organization that you complete and turn in for feedback. On top of that, you get to meet once a month with our attorney that will go ahead and go through, or senior compliance officer, either one, depending on what the actual month is over. But you get to bop into that office hours and ask questions, and not only get your questions answered, but listen to other people's questions and get that value as well. Are they bigger than you? What are they asking? What do they need to know? What do I need to prepare myself to know at that point? Are they your right size or same size? Okay, well, what struggles do they have? And can I make an inroad with another business that's similarly situated, that's not really my competitor, that I have somebody to talk to and work through the business with, and I can get my questions answered? And then on top of that, you get all of the resources. You're getting templates, you're getting information that's pulled for you, you're getting lists, you're getting checklists, you're getting all the stuff to help you build a knowledge base, so that when you're ready to hand off that hat, whether it's to somebody internal or somebody external, you're remaining in that risk category, right? You're still responsible. So you actually know what you need to know, and you're able to also identify what they don't know. It prepares you in business as well. So, it's the value could be any of those things. Kind of like I said, when you hire a consultant, oftentimes what you're really getting is a document library of templates. Here, you're getting actual current templates that you're filling out but are getting feedback on what else would bolster it or what's incorrect. You're able to actually have that attorney to ask those questions to and go to that office hours. And for some of you that might want a plus version, we have a version where if you want to also talk about your business privately and you want more access to the attorney, you can add on Compliance University Plus, where you get a quarterly meeting just one on one with the attorney, whether you want them to review something for you, whether you want them to answer questions during that hour, whether you want them to provide you with a compliance calendar and kind of go through your questions of what you need to do. Maybe it's what type of disclosure would I use for this? Or maybe it's can you review this prior to us meeting so I can use that hour to get my needs met? But you can actually add that on too. So you get everything with Compliance University to build your knowledge, build the knowledge of your future team, and make sure you're actually building a compliance foundation. You also get access to attorneys.
I love Compliance University. The whole reason why we built it was exactly to resolve the problems we are talking about today. Because we just kept hearing from so many of you, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't have time to keep up with the rules. I don't have time to read the guidance. I don't have time to read the FAQ questions. I don't have time to read the enforcement report or the guidance after the annual exams that the SEC conducted and what they saw that worked and what they saw that utterly failed. We get it. It's not your full-time job, even though it's expected to be. And that's why we build Compliance U. Let's teach you what the rules and regulations are. Let's teach you how you actually conduct the testing so that those 83% of you that are outsourcing compliance, you're not just abdicating that responsibility, you're delegating it. And you're able to show that you understand the rule and understand how the testing's supposed to be conducted, and you can adequately supervise your outsourced provider. Because a lot of you, to Tracie's point, think your consultant is the golden parachute. And then we get the call as a law firm once you get fined, once there's an investigation opened up, and your consultant says, well, I'm not a lawyer, and it's your responsibility. I'm just here to give you some information and templates. I always say reliance on a compliance consultant is not a valid legal defense. Reliance on counsel is.
Well, I think you make really valid points. And for those of you out there that are ready to stop guessing, you should head over to myrialawyer.com, look at our resources, and there's Compliance University. For those of you that are like, but what if I want to try before I buy? Guess what? There is a new Reg SP course out there that we're putting out free of charge for you just to see kind of the style and the flow, and also to educate you, because this will be super helpful. This is something that they're looking at right now. So whether you're a new firm, whether you're a firm that has employees that need training and need help, that can be for them as well. Whether you're a firm that's at the enterprise level and you have a team that needs to have access to this type of knowledge, they can go in and do that course too. It's not just people that are starting out. Anybody can do that free course. But I'd get over there and look and get signed up for the next cohort. If you get signed up for the next cohort, you'll be able to quit guessing and start doing and just sleep better. Nobody needs bubbly guts. Nobody needs anxiety at night. Nobody needs to worry about, okay, I just started this new business and I'm trying to figure out a P&L and trying to figure out how to get insurance and trying to figure out all the things I need to stand up this business. But the stuff that I'm building could be shot, and never go forward because of the fact that, I'm setting myself up to fail by not doing the right things and doing, things that I think might be okay. So this will give you better peace of mind. This will help ensure that you're not building your business on quicksand so that it, gets engulfed and your goodwill and all of that top of mind awareness goes away. So check us out wherever you get your podcasts. You can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple, iTunes. For those of you that really are serious about your business and really want to build a foundation, go to www.myralawyer.com. Look at our resources, check out Compliance University. I think that's really going to be a hit for you. Our next episode is going to cover your first SEC exam and what that will expose and how do we handle that. We're also going to be talking on shows to come about other models as well, as we said. Marketing without getting fined. We're going to be talking about hiring your team and now compliance is breaking. For those of you that are finally, not wearing the hat yourself and are starting to get people, do you have the right people? If so, how do you leverage them? We'll talk about your vendors. We'll talk about as you're growing, how you move from the initial stages to more advanced, and then even once you're at enterprise level, how you're getting those leadership teams built, but how you're developing those folks that aren't quite at the leadership level yet. So there's more to come for all of you. Go over, check out Compliance University, take on that free course and see what's in it for you.
Hopefully, if you ever ask the question, I just launched my RIA, now what? Hopefully that question got answered today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care, y'all.
Bye.